Hey everybody, it's Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here again for another Finally Friday video. This week I'm going to give you a tip on how to use your Stamparatus to stamp on a circle shape. So hang on and I'll get right to showing you. I'm going to show you guys this week how you can stamp like uniformly on a circle. And that's the continuation of the pop and flip card. But I want to show you how you can space your images and have everything quote unquote perfect on a circle image. So first you're going to need your stamp positioning tool. I have my Stamparatus out. And what I've done is I've marked off a corner of off this grid paper that I have. I've taped off a corner just so I have an idea of where I want to put my paper. I cut the circle out of basic white paper that I needed to put in the center here. But then I am going to put it back into the frames that it came out of, like this. And I've cut the frame down to be a square. So I went with 3.5 by 3.5. I tried to make sure that, you know, each piece, that the circle was right in the center. So then I'm going to get out my magnet here, and then I'm going to put my paper into this corner that I made, like so, and just kind of eyeballing. It could put the other one. Let me get the other magnet out just because there are two and I should utilize them both to keep it in place. So I've got the paper in place. Then you want to line up your stamp. So I got I'm going to call it a tulip because it kind of looks like a tulip. And I'm going to put my tulip where I want it on my circle, where I think that it looks like it is centered on there. And these little buggers are like sticky, so I'm gonna go with that. That looks like it's pretty good to me. Then close down your lid and pick up your stamp. Now because I do have the polymer stamp, I want to make sure that I've got the foam underneath that comes with your Stamparatus. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp down. I'm going to ink up my tulip, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down on my paper. Go ahead and you want to push down evenly across your image. Some people have a tool that they use that helps keep an even pressure, but if you just run your hand over it, run your finger over it kind of thing, that'll work. And the beauty of it is if something didn't ink up right, just shut it back down and, you know, ink it if you need to or rub it again. So I've got my first one down, and so now I want to go around. I want to put 3 more around my circle. So what I found to be easiest was to pick up my square, and then I'm going to do the bottom piece. So I'm going to load it back in with the corner right there, and I'm going to go around the side. I'm going to make sure I'm pretty much in the same spot and put my magnets back down. Then I'm going to ink up my flower again. And then I'm going to press down. And now this flower should be pretty close, you know, to right across uniformly from the other one. We're going to turn it again. And I know this isn't rocket science, but for some people it might be an aha moment that shows you how you can easily stamp in a uniform like circle, around a circle with your shapes. Make sure then that they're all evenly spaced, because we all think we've got a good eyeball, but something like this definitely helps you make sure that you're in the right spot. So I'm going to put my magnets back down. We'll ink up the last and there we go. And now you see I've got ink all over my lid, and that's not gonna touch down on my paper, which is good. You could wipe off between the flowers. You could wipe that off, or you could use like an ink spot instead of this big one. I did not have my block underneath. I usually like to keep something underneath so that I have a firm pressure underneath the lid, and then I stamp down on it. But I didn't. Today I'm just holding it up, so I am rocking the plate. So now I'm going to flip the plate around, and where's my little tiny one? I'm going to put this little baby flower right in between the two, like so. I'm going to close it down and pick it up, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go ink it up, shut the lid, and then I'll go all the way around with all of them and do the same thing. So there you go. I've gone around all 4 sides. Now I'm going to take my little flower, just stamp it down in the middle. This is an eyeball job, so stamp it down the middle, and you're all set to pop that out of there. Reuse your template if you need to or want to. And I forgot to tell you, I put a little bit of Scotch tape. You can use washi tape. I just have some cheap Scotch tape that's not, I shouldn't call it Scotch tape because it's dollar store tape and it's not very strong. So I didn't figure that it was going to stick to my circle. So I've got that all set and ready to go. And then now I can apply it to the back or the front of the card that I made on a different video. I didn't decorate the pop and fold. So now we've got that all ready to go. So this is a great way to know that you're stamping uniformly on your circle, and then you don't have to eyeball it, because eyeballing it isn't always the easiest thing to do. So there you go, guys. I hope you give it a try. All right, so how was that? Did you enjoy that little tip there for how to use the square template to stamp around in a circle? I found it very helpful myself when I was making those cards to do it that way. So I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back again next week for another version of Finally Friday. Until then, be safe, have fun, and take care. Bye-bye.